Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about wallets. I'm going to go over the news with you guys. We'll talk about altcoins. We're going to move some crypto around so you guys can see things happening in real time. And I'll do my best to keep my eye on the live stream chat window so that I can answer your questions and hopefully troubleshoot your problems here live. So let's jump in. All right, so welcome everybody. I'm here again with the rig and my background, my alternate monitor. Actually, I think it should be just a little more this way, right? You seeing too much of the guts of my operation over there. I'm going to have to apologize in advance. I'm a little bit sick. So if I start coughing and hacking, please don't be alarmed. I'll be fine. But I have had kind of a nasty cough today that just started, so it hasn't really worked its way out of my system yet. So we're here, we're live. And let's see, I'm hoping that I did a live stream yesterday because I got some goodies from my affiliate partners at Satoshi Labs, the Trezor people. I've got the Trezor shirt on now. I thought you might want to check out the back of this. It's really cool. I hope that came through. And I hope I didn't mute my mic trying to do that. I also got some pretty cool little stickers here. You can't really see them. Let's go in on them. There we go. Pretty cool. And then a bigger one. Yeah, it's just some Christmas Bitcoin stickers. This one is too big to fit on the back of a Trezor, but it would look kind of cool on the wall or whatever. I want to stick it on the side of my rig or something. And these would fit on the back of a Trezor. So Kenneth is here. Yay! Because the last I spoke, let me just go ahead and switch cameras here. Like I said, I did a kind of an impromptu live stream yesterday showing off some of the holiday gifts that I got from Ledger and Trezor and CryptoTag. A lot of wallet companies work. I work closely with them. You know, it started when I was first got this channel going. I was kind of a beggar, right? Didn't have a whole lot of money. And wanted to try out wallets. And so I'd send them an email and go, hey, I do wallet reviews. If you'll send me a wallet, I'll do a review. And that's kind of how it got started. I don't know that I ever did that for Ledger. I think I already had a Ledger device when I started this thing. And but over time, they've given me a lot of wallets. I think I was trying to tell the story yesterday. I don't think I got quite got through it. But they asked me to do kind of a video blurb that they were going to present at one of their conferences. And I created the blurb and everything. And they were like, well, we don't have it in our budget to pay you, but we can send you some product if you like. And I was like, sure, of course. And they sent me like 4 Ledger Nano X's and a bunch of swag, and it was really cool. And then I mentioned also Trezor. They're very nice also. I usually will just say, hey, I want to do a new video. Would you mind sending me your new wallet or, whatever they've got? And they're always very happy to send me products. So I've got all kinds of cryptocurrency hardware wallets laying around. It's my big thing. Keep your crypto in your own wallet and learn how to use them, right? That's the most important thing because it's all on you, right? If your product is defective, you've got tech support, but really managing crypto is, it's your job, right? It teaches self-reliance, right? It's not like, oh, my phone's flaking out, I'll call Apple, or I'll take it to the Apple store, or my printer's not printing, so I call HP. You know, everybody is like appealing to authority in our society now, right? And I want to teach you guys to, you know, be self-reliant, right? Learn about what you're doing. If it's, you know, if it's means something to you, if it's cryptocurrency that you've bought as, you know, an investment in your future or a short-term investment, then, you know, it would behoove you to learn how to custody said Bitcoin, right? Anyway, I forgot to thank everybody. Everyone's here tonight. I didn't delay. I was going to go to Indiana today and meet my relatives in Pokagon. There's a great state park down there just across the Indiana-Michigan border, and got canceled. I was feeling sick. The family has been sick, so I wasn't going to bring them with me. I was just going to go by myself. But then when I woke up this morning with this throat and I looked outside at all the snow, I was like, nah, I think I've got that here. Yeah, I looked outside in my car and I was like, I don't think so. Pardon me. I could have got out of the driveway without shoveling it, but just wiping all that snow off the car, I just couldn't face it, right? Because, you know, when you're trying to wipe that much snow off your car with a brush, the snow tends to like powderize in the air and go down your collar, and just like, it's just really a hassle. So I did not leave today. I was even going to go up to the store to get a new modem at Best Buy, which is right around the corner, and I decided not to do that either. Just couldn't face brushing the snow off the car. I could have handled the drive. No touchy the mic, right? No touchy Mikey. Pardon me. This is, Paulo, thanks for being here from Brazil. Shahid Hamid, thank you for being here from the UK. Dan, always a pleasure to have you here as always. And JDO, Mr. Miskey, Dave Flowers. I think it was Dave that sent me a very kind email telling me that his son bought his first crypto, and Dave referred him to my videos, and his son was able to get up and running and learn the basics of self-custody from my videos, and he just wanted to send me a shout out. Thank you. And so I really appreciate that, Dave. If that was you, I think it was you. And I had someone else ask me about Trezors. I think his first name is Joseph, and I think he said he wanted to buy a Trezor T or a Trezor 1. I'm not sure. And I told him that I would cover Trezors tonight. And just so you know, all of the affiliate links down in the description below will give me credit for the sale if you're kind enough to want to, give me credit for the sale. It doesn't cost you anymore. It just gives me credit for the sale when someone uses my link. So I've got the Trezor T link here, the Trezor Model 1 link, the Trezor Shop link, and then I've got some links for pre-ordering the Stax, and then also the Ledger Nano X. That's actually the shop level, whatever. But yeah, and I've got a bunch of cool stuff down here. If you want to check out any of my affiliate links, I've got all of the news stories covered. I'm not going to spend too much time on the news. I didn't get totally prepared. Some of this stuff we covered yesterday, but I will kind of jump in. Let me go ahead and pop out the chat window. Let's see, what are we doing here? Okay, here. I like to keep this one over here, and this one. Yeah, I like to keep this one over here. It's just, I'm used to it, so if I need to refer back to them. So yeah, check out the comment section, or I mean the, I don't know the description section, right? Check it out. Anyway, before I jump too far in, I wanted to, I'm kind of a stickler, and my internet company sent me an email And I don't know if I want to do this while I'm live streaming, but let's see what happens, right? Are you going to cut me off? Yeah, I think we're okay. Is it going to stop? It's taking a while. Okay. Hopefully that didn't whack out the live stream too much when I did that. Oh, thank you, Emmanuel Adamasu, for the year. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Always nice. Yeah, well, Kitty was here yesterday in the live stream yesterday. So if you wanted to check out an appearance by Kitty, if you go into, my most recent videos, I did a live stream yesterday, kind of, as I mentioned, kind of impromptu. And I'll just toss a link to that if I can get this. I can't seem to get on track here. There we go. We got this going. I'm going to move it over here to the other side. And I'll paste that link in for the live stream yesterday. I went through some of that cool stuff. We talked a little bit about wallets. I'll talk a little bit more about wallets tonight. I also had an email from someone that was asking me about I get this question quite often, and it's basically, can't someone just guess my 12 or 24 word seed phrase, right? There's only 2,048 words in the list, so that doesn't seem like a lot. So why isn't it possible for someone to just randomly guess my seed phrase? And the short answer is no. We're looking at even with the 12 word, we're looking at the order of 1 million years of guessing to guess, to try a reasonable amount of combinations, right? We're not talking about trying every single combination of words. We're just talking about a reasonable amount of guesses that would supposedly allow you to stumble onto, the seed phrase. Now, that doesn't even take into account the fact that if I were to sit down and try to guess random seed phrases, I would need to generate these seed phrases, which takes a certain amount of time. And then I would need to set up the wallet, go into Ledger Live and, add accounts and try to check to see if any of those said randomly generated accounts had any crypto in them. And that would take even more time. So we're going to multiply that guessing factor by, a lot, right? So anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about wallets and seed phrases. I know 2048 seems like not a lot of words, but when you get right down to it, in order to check every single combination of those words is astronomically, there's not enough time in a lifetime, right? We're talking 1 million years. And that's just for the 12. Okay, so I wanted to talk real quick about speed. This is my download speed, which is pretty high. I've got like a really good internet plan, right? I've got like the best plan I can get, right? Money is no object. I remember I went over a few times on my bandwidth allotment when I was downloading blockchains, just experimenting. And I got charged more. I forget what the plan is, like 100 something, a little less than 100. And then I was like, oh, I said, can't you just give me an unlimited amount of bandwidth? And they were like, oh yeah, sure. It's like an extra $30 a month. And I'm like, fine, give it to me. So I think my internet bill is like $136 a month, which is fine with me. Yeah, it's fine. But recently they upgraded their speeds, right? So they were like, oh, you know what? You're not getting the speed you could be getting, right? You're only getting, your plan before was like a 1 gigabit, which is almost what we're getting here. But now you can get like up to 1.2 gigabits. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I have my own modem, a roll your own modem. I don't use the modem they provide. It's more secure. It's cheaper to use your own setup, and it's more secure to use a separate motor and modem and wireless router, which I have, right? So I run out and I get this upgraded modem. I go through, all the hassle of getting it set up and under the table with cables, and then run the speed test, and I'm still not getting more than 1,000, right? I should be getting like 1,200. Well, I came to find out that now I have to replace my router because my router is only gigabit, So now I got to go out and buy a router and replace that in order to get these upgraded speeds. These companies, like, oh, you should be taking advantage of this. And I'm like, yeah, $400 later. Yeah. Now I'm taking advantage of it. Anyway, talk about crypto. Right? Let's get into the news. Let's see. I wanted to do this, right? This is we always do a crypto market breakdown. Co-founder of OneCoin pyramid scheme pleads guilty. CoinDesk market index drops. Now, I don't know if you remember OneCoin, but it was a few years back, and this was a crypto Ponzi scheme, mostly in China, and they were sort of like they would hold these sessions, right? Kind of like a Tony Robbins self-help session where they would get all these elderly Chinese people in a big room and they would explain to them, how OneCoin was the new latest thing and that you missed out on Bitcoin, you need OneCoin. And they would, get people to, invest their hard-earned money to buy these OneCoins and put them in their wallet. And then the whole thing collapsed. And, it was what, at that point, what was one of the largest Ponzi schemes of ever, right? FTX may have shown them up, but now the guy's been arrested. I guess one of the founders, Carl Greenwood, pleaded guilty to federal charges on Friday. So that's a big kind of a news story, right? And then I have an article about jumping into markets head first. I'd like to just cover that because I know I do education, but a lot of you here are, into the investment thing and you want me to do coin reviews and that kind of stuff. So I just kind of want to expose you to this article. But before we get to that, this is just a breakdown of the Bitcoin market over the last 24 hours. And of course, if you want to read this article in its entirety, just check out the description, scroll down to news stories covered, and I've got all these stories linked so that you can check them out, read them at your leisure. Bitcoin fell about 3% over the last 24 hours. A lot of it due to the Binance situation. Binance was being audited or so-called audited, and then the auditors took down their results or something on their website. Well, that's another story we'll talk about here in a second. Ethereum was down 3.1%. Let's take a look at the crypto.com and see where things are right now. And so we've got Bitcoin at 16,875. It was around 16,800 earlier today. So it's up $71 over the last few hours, I guess. Ethereum down to 1,200. I think it was down a little more than that earlier today as well. Cardano is way down. Cardano got hit pretty hard on the pullback yesterday. Cosmos is down to 9. Crypto.com is a cryptocurrency exchange that you can run on your phone. They do have a web-based exchange, but it's not available to U.S. users. But I like Crypto.com for my phone. One of the main things that I use it for during the day is just checking the latest prices. I get a really good feel for where the market's at a glance. So I like that. But you can also buy and sell cryptos, deposit and withdraw crypto. They have this card, metal Visa card that you can use to make purchases in the real world by topping up your crypto holdings, right? You're basically selling your crypto when you do this, but it goes onto the card and you can use it immediately, right? So if you're, like the age-old question that I get on my channel is, how do I put my Bitcoin in my bank, right? Like, basically the question is, how do I cash out, right? And generally my answer to that is, well, you transfer it from your wallet to an exchange, and then you trade it for dollars, and then you make your withdraw to your bank, which is like several steps. People don't want to hear that. They just want to like grab Bitcoin in their hand and like shove it in their bank somehow, right? But crypto.com is pretty darn close, because if you have Bitcoin that you've bought in your crypto.com app, it's really easy to just top up your Metal Visa card and buy something right away. Within seconds you can do that, or go to an ATM and get cash. That's pretty cool. I like crypto.com, been with them for a long time. And they're heavily involved in the NFT space, and very heavy into sports. They're doing a lot of stuff around the World Cup. So if you go to the crypto.com app, you'll see there's all kinds of cool links. Let's see. Next story. This is the one I was alluding to about the markets. And this is just an opinion piece about the FTX crypto bust, shows capitalism's limits, and investors had been led astray by misleading signals from the market. It enticed them to go all in on centralized exchanges rather than focusing on real-world use cases for tokenized value exchange. When I first got into Bitcoin back in 2013, I bought a little miner on eBay for $350, and I mined for about a year and a half. And back then, the blockchain was smaller and not as complicated, right? So that one rig that I bought back in 2013, after a year and a half of mining, I had 2 Bitcoin on there. Of course, at the time, Bitcoin was only worth around $400, $600 per Bitcoin. But I did spend some of that to buy something in the real world, which I don't regret. But I held on to quite a bit of it. And late 2016, I noticed that the price of Bitcoin was going up. And so I started playing around with my Bitcoin. I had a wallet, and I was going on sites that supported Bitcoin. And there was a lot of excitement about how easy it was to use Bitcoin, how low the fees were with Bitcoin as opposed to credit card fees. There was this whole thing about micro transactions, so that you could send someone less than a penny using Bitcoin because Bitcoin divided down to Satoshis. So I got a big exposure to the use case for tokenized value exchange, right, back in those days. Now, most people are not really that keen on using Bitcoin. They're more behind investing in Bitcoin and trying to make a profit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people got sucked into this whole mindset of, Bitcoin's only going to go up, fear of missing out, FOMO. And then they didn't know anything about doing self-custody. And so they were using centralized exchanges to buy crypto and leverage it, do lending platforms, and do all kinds of stuff, right? So this is kind of a lesson, right? This is not what crypto really should be about, right? Not short-term maniacal gains in investing, right? I've discovered back in the year 2000 and late 1998 and 99 that the stock market was kind of the big boys game, and the little guy usually got screwed. I had opened like a little account. I forget what it was, some kind of e-trading account. And I realized that there were so many factors to the way the stock market worked that favored large traders, right? They were front running the news stories, and the markets would close, and there would be some bad news announced, and then the next morning, if I tried to sell my stock, it had already dropped like 10 or 20% due to overnight trading. So anyway, stock market was a rigged game, and centralized exchanges And those sort of things are kind of a rigged game as well, right? Buy your crypto, put it in your wallet, hodl it, learn how to manipulate it long term. And if you need to sell, great, learn how to transfer it back to exchanges, all that kind of stuff. But don't get sucked into this get rich quick stuff, right? This article covers a lot of those topics. I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but I would recommend that you read it. They talk about there's going to be some kind of regulation on exchanges at some point, right? All right, and then let's go over here to Binance Proof of Reserves auditor Mazars pauses all work for crypto clients, right? So this was what caused the scare in the market. They were an auditing firm, and they were auditing Binance with some caveats, right? And I don't know if they got threatened by regulators or just scared of legal proceedings against them for misrepresenting or whatever it was. They just decided to take down all of their audits that they were posting on their website. And this kind of shook the crypto market yesterday. And I won't go into this one too much either, right? We want to get to the meat of what we're doing here. And then Dan should know that we've got the Donald Trump NFT collection sold out yesterday. And it was the floor price was about 0.19 ETH, which is roughly $100. And now they're selling for 230. So if you bought some Trump NFTs yesterday, you could have doubled your money if you're into that sort of thing. I'm not sure what Dan's planning on doing. He'll probably just hang on to his because they are ultimately cool, right? So that's pretty cool. A lot of mainstream outlets ridiculed Trump for this. It's some kind of publicity stunt. But the proof is in the pudding, right? Got sold out first day. And it wasn't about money, really. It was more about, Trump jumping into this space. It was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. All right. So let me get caught up a little bit on the chat window. I noticed that JDO and Dan are furiously answering some questions. It was one coin to rule them all. Yeah. Pablo, yeah. I did want to talk about wallets a little bit. So let me, I'm going to give you guys some links. I know it's hard to wrap your head around cryptography. And I think I mentioned yesterday that modern cryptography, asymmetric cryptography, only came about recently in the 70s, because before that it was the calculations were just out of reach for a normal human. So it was the advent of public-private key cryptography in the late 70s, mid to late 70s, which allowed Bitcoin to utilize those tools. And Bitcoin is not encrypted, right? It's not jumbled. It's clear on the blockchain. Anyone can see the transactions. The use of public-private key cryptography is used for validating keys, right? So it's used to assign and prove ownership. So when I initialize a wallet, I get a private key. And that means I'm the only one that has full access to that Bitcoin address. So I can, my wallet will generate a public key and public sending addresses. So I can go out and buy Bitcoin on an exchange or have a friend send it to me. It goes into my address on the blockchain, right? It doesn't go into my wallet. It's still out there on the blockchain. But I have access to that blockchain address by way of my wallet. I can manage that Bitcoin in that Bitcoin address. And the key there is that I control the private key. Private key is a really long number. It can be stored in a wallet, on your phone. It can be stored on your computer if you're using a desktop-based wallet or a browser-based wallet. And those are all decent wallets, right? As long as your computer or your phone doesn't get hacked or stolen or whatever. But a hardware wallet stores the private key offline. I know a lot of people complain about the cable, and they complain about Bluetooth, and they say, oh, can't people just like steal my crypto using Bluetooth? I don't want to use the Bluetooth. I'm too scared or whatever. That's not how hardware wallets work. The private key never leaves the device, whether you're using Bluetooth or the cable. The only thing that goes out between the wallet and the private key is the request and the authorization, right? And those are encrypted, so they cannot be altered in transit, right? Anyway, we can talk about that. Let's see here. Let's see here. It seems possible for someone to purchase a ledger, and when it generates the word list, it gets by chance a valid wallet, some full of BTC. All right, so this is what we were talking about earlier. Barb. Very unlikely. Let's jump into that discussion. It's very unlikely that someone is just going to magically, randomly generate the same key as you because of the size of the pool. And it is a random generator. So when a wallet initializes, it generates a random private key. So the chance of a wallet generating a key that is already in use is astronomical. Like we mentioned, millions of years. So let's go into that real quick because I get this question quite often. So if you look down in the description below, this is not the right one. That's yesterday's. Let's look at this one. Yeah. If we go down into the description, you'll see that I have some discussions about wallets and seed phrases, some Reddit posts, and what an article about 256-bit encryption, how secure it is. I've got that video that I linked to. I've linked to this video several times. It's pretty amazing video. It's a visual representation of how astronomical the size of the key pool is. So yeah, I think we talked about a grain of sand. If I had a grain of sand and I threw it out onto a beach and you didn't see it, it was like randomly thrown out there, and then you just have to randomly go out onto that beach and find my grain of sand. And that's like, you think, oh, okay, I get that. We're like, well, let's take all the beaches on all the worlds, right? So if I could take a grain of sand and randomly throw it out onto every single beach on Earth, and then give you the task of going out there and accidentally just picking up my grain of sand, it's just not going to happen, right? I know it's your mind, we have a lot of magical thinking. And we think about stuff like, oh yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Yeah, anything's possible, but how likely is it to occur? So this video is really cool. I think it's here. Yeah, I think if we get down to the very end, I think we talked about it already. We break up the. I'm going to see if I can find it here. Okay, so he breaks up the 256-bit key into 4 billion chunks, right? So 4 billion is a huge number, but we're taking 4 billion and multiplying it times itself like 8 times. This is just, you can't even wrap your head around this kind of stuff. He's talking about, okay, I've got this GPU that's going to try to guess my key, right? And then I can take 4 billion of those GPUs and stick them in one computer and see how long it takes me to guess the key, right? And then now I can take 4 billion of those computers that have 4 billion GPUs in them, right? And then we can take, the approximate population of the Earth, right? And see and then we can multiply that Earth by 4 billion, right? So, I mean, we're getting to the order of magnitude that we just don't conceive of in our normal daily lives, right? It took supercomputers, or it took modern computers to even be able to calculate this kind of stuff, right? So it's real easy to go, oh, why is, anyway, let's see there, this is the question, right? But what I don't get, right? What I don't get is there are only so many words, right? You're taking 2,048 words in a BIP39 word list, right? So if there's only 2,048 words, I mean, all I got to do is hit, 1 out of 2,048. No, because the list is, we'll just stay with 12, right? The list is 12, right? So you've got to take, like, out of those 2,048 words, you've got to take word number 1 combined with every other possible word in slot number 2, right? And then every other, word left in slot number 3, and then every other word left in slot number 4. I mean, that's just monumental, and that's just working on one word in one slot, right? And then you've got to take word number 1 in slot number 2, and all the different combinations that you could get out of that. So, I mean, I don't know. It's like you think it's like easy. And then this link here is to a more and I've got a link to this down in the description if you want to read it. And he's talking about the Trezor and the amount of math here and the amount of guesses. And this is the dictionary size. And this is kind of rough estimate kind of stuff. It's not precise, but it guesses conservatively, right? In real life, if you use the real, all of the exact mathematical equations, it would actually be longer than this, right? So here we've got the 12 word. It would take approximately 1 million years for the correct guess, right? And then for the 24 word, we're looking at on the order of 10 billion years. Do you have that kind of time? Yeah, it's possible that you just might happen to, but no. Not with the size of the pool, right? I know that's what I'm trying to drive home. And just wanted to let you guys know that I always link to Mastering Bitcoin by Andreas Antonopoulos. So I have a link to chapter 5 where he talks about wallets, and it's not quite as simple as just choosing random words out of a list. Basically, a random number gets generated, and then it goes through some manipulation, some permutations or whatever, some checksums, and then that number is divided up into chunks, 11-bit chunks. And then those 11-bit chunks are put into a list, and then there's this huge table where they go look up the corresponding word in the word list, right? The BIP39, if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's, yeah. And there's more than just the English, right? There's other languages too. But this is the list. This is the canonical list of words that your wallet will choose from in that table to generate your seed phrase. And once that's done, then it shows you the seed phrase, because for a human being to write down a number like this is really prone to error, right? So they make it correspond to this table of available words, and then they can spit out this seed phrase so that you can write it down. So you write it down and you save it in a safe place. If you lose your wallet, you can always regenerate the seed. You can regenerate the private key again by doing the restore operation, right? The restore operation is you open up a wallet or a new hardware wallet, and instead of setting it up as new, you choose restore from seed phrase, and then it asks you to enter your seed phrase, right? And once you've done that, the wallet becomes a mirror of the wallet that got destroyed or lost, right? And then you can access all the crypto that you created, right? Now it's just like so hard to wrap your head around it. But you know, you have all these random keys. You've got this master private key, and it generates sub-wallets. And this is deterministic, which means that each time this wallet generates a new sub-wallet, like let's say, okay, I generate this master key, and then I'm going to generate a Bitcoin wallet, then I'll generate an Ethereum wallet, going to generate an Atom wallet, then I'm going to generate a Cardano wallet, right? And I'll see all those in my wallet interface. Your device gets destroyed, and then you get a new device. You use this seed phrase to restore this master key, and then you generate a wallet. You generate a Bitcoin wallet. Well, now that you have got this new device set up, it's empty, but it has the same master private key. So when you say create a Bitcoin wallet for me, it creates the exact same Bitcoin wallet every time you use this master key. This is not random, right? This is deterministic. So you'll be recreating all of these wallets that you already created before, and you'll have access to all of your crypto that's stored on the blockchain. I know. Hard to deal with, huh? Okay, so Patty's here with a flurry of questions. Scott is here. Thanks for being here, Scott. Haven't seen Mr. David here in a while. I'm wondering, what does that mean, KDY? Does Gemini have private key? Oh, your cryptocurrency exchanges control their own private key. So when you deposit crypto on an exchange, they're the ones that have these keys. They're the ones that control the wallet. And if you want your crypto to be stored safely, then you should move it into your own wallet, like we're talking about here. Gemini is not unsafe. It's that, why would you... There's so many things that could happen to your crypto on a centralized exchange, not just Gemini. The exchange could go down, right? The exchange could go bankrupt. The exchange could lock you out of your account because you accidentally put in the wrong password 3 times. You could lose your 2-factor authentication and lose access to the crypto that you have stored. The government could seize your funds that are being held on that account because the government likes to do stuff like that, right? We had a story not too long ago about the South Korean government seizing people's funds on centralized exchanges who owed back taxes, right? So there are a myriad of things that could happen to your crypto if someone else is managing your private key, right? It doesn't mean that it's an unsafe place to trade or store Bitcoin for a while. Let's liken it to a public bathroom. I heard this comment. I don't know who said this. I think it was on Reddit or somewhere, but they said centralized exchanges are like public bathrooms, right? Go in, do your business, and then get out right away, all right? So I've done this many times. You know, I have crypto in my wallet. I move the crypto to the exchange. We make a trade. And then after we're done trading, we move the crypto back into our own wallet, right? That's self-custody. And you have to learn how to transfer crypto back and forth. Don't just jump on an exchange, deposit $5,000 in the exchange, buy a bunch of Bitcoin, and then just sit on it and hold it in there, because things could happen. They probably won't, but they could, right? Ask people that had their crypto in FTX. They thought that they were using the second largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. I mean, they were advertising on the Super Bowl. It was a safe place to keep your money, right? Turned out not so much, right? But don't freak out that all exchanges are now like dangerous, right? Or unsafe, right? Just use them properly. Not really worried, just trying to figure out. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's hard to wrap your head around this stuff. Have everything on my Nano. Good for you, Patty. Appreciate that. Scott uses Uphold and KuCoin. You see me using those. Uphold is the easiest. However, not everything you purchase there can be removed from exchange to wallet. So do research. Yeah. Uphold's a little funky. But I did submit my W4 to them, or whatever it was, W9. We talked about Uphold. Not real happy about it, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, this is what you do when you get a job, right? When you get a job, you submit a W9, which, has your social security number on there and your signature and date. It's just an official document that you're verifying that that is your social security number. And they need it when you, like, if you get a job as a dishwasher, you fill out a W9 so that they'll have it on hand when they're doing payroll and they can do the withholding properly, right? That's how our system works, right? So Uphold is kind of doing the same thing because Uphold generates earnings tax forms that they send out to you every year. So they need those tax forms. I mean, I was kind of like, ugh, I don't want to give all that information to them, but, they have to be tax compliant, and that's why they ask for it. IRS. Yeah, Scott. George Satoshi Rex, what if someone can create an algorithm program that can make millions or billions of attempts every second to generate addresses or something like this? Ooh. Whew. All right, let's go back to this. I can talk about this till I'm blue in the face. And people will just go, but what if, right? This is talking about using I don't know exactly where it is in the article, but they're talking about using a high-speed computer to make millions of guesses per second, right? And even with that, we're still talking about 1 million years of calculations of high-speed guessing with your favorite algorithm on the best computer ever made by mankind, still going to take millions of years. I know everybody's like, but what if, right? I get it. I'm not trying not to make fun of you, but I'm getting tired trying to explain this because it's cryptography, right? It's not like, I'm playing hopscotch and, there's like 24 squares I'm jumping on, right? No, this is high-end stuff, man. This is like advanced mathematics. Okay. What do you think is the best free wallet for Bitcoin and crypto for my friends that don't have much crypto and don't want to spend $100 on a ledger? That is an excellent question, Raghorn L. And for that situation, I would hope that you have at least a computer or a phone. So if you have a computer, then I would recommend the Electrum Bitcoin wallet. It's, it is free to download and install on your computer. And it's a great way to manage Bitcoin. Open source, too. Can't get any better than that, right? It's just not a hardware wallet, right? Pardon me, the private key is stored on your computer, not offline. So it's vulnerable. But that doesn't mean that, as soon as you turn on your computer, a hacker is just going to reach into your computer and snatch your private keys, right? They have to know, they have to target you. I mean, it's not, I don't know what, in the same way that people think about backup phrases and how it would be so easy for someone to just guess it, they think the same way about computers and viruses and hackers. They think that, like, as soon as they turn on their computer, hackers going to steal their crypto right out of their, it's, this wallet uses encryption as well. So, I mean, the hacker would have to target you. They'd have to get remote access. And then if you're running firewall or virus protection, they'd be blocked. But even if they could get access to your computer and steal that key, they still need the password, and that's encrypted, and they got to know how to crack that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But better. More security is better than less security. So that's why we say it's better to use a hardware wallet. But free. You got to have trade-offs in life, right? And oh dear, what have I done? Wow. And then for those of you who only have a phone, whoops. Trust Wallet. I like Trust Wallet. It's owned by Binance, but it is a self-custody wallet. Private key is stored on the phone. So, you know, if someone were to grab your phone and know what they were doing, it's possible that they might, if they were advanced hackers, right? If you leave your phone on the bus and someone just happens to pick it up and who wants your phone, it's hard enough for them just to get access to the phone, right? Because they don't have your PIN code to open the phone or your face to open the phone. So generally, if someone steals your phone, they're going to take it somewhere where it gets wiped so they can get access to it, right? Very, like, if someone were to just find your phone or steal your phone out of your bag or your backpack, or, if you're at a restaurant, it's on the table and they swipe it while you're turned the other way, they're not going to, they may not even know you have crypto on there, right? So just very rare. But anyway, so we got Trust Wallet, we've got Electrum Bitcoin Wallet, we've got Exodus, which I probably mangled. Exodus Wallet is also free to download and install on your computer. I don't know if they have a phone-based version of Exodus. They might. Yeah, they might. And then also the Atomic Wallet. As another one. And I believe there's a phone version and a computer version. Now, the Electrum Bitcoin Wallet only stores Bitcoin. But Trust stores multiple different types of crypto. And so does Exodus. Stores a lot of different cryptos. And Atomic Wallet. And these are all self-custody, right? You control the private keys. So if you've got friends, that's a great question, I just bought $100 worth of Bitcoin. Am I going to go out and buy a $100 wallet to store it? I'd rather spend that extra 100 on more Bitcoin. So yeah, there are free options which are reasonably secure, right? I have never been hacked or had missing monies on my account for 5 years. I have lost funds due to my decisions on when to buy and sell, wrong addresses to send to. That's a really good point, Scott. This article that I covered earlier about the FTX and the crypto bust is that the main form of hacking. Actually, it may not have been that one. Maybe not. Basically, the largest amount of crypto gets lost due to user mismanagement. I'm not sure where that is in here, but that's it, right? It always comes down to the end user does something wrong sends it to the wrong address or uses the wrong kind of wallet to store a certain blockchain or, that kind of thing. Or they get taken in by a scammer who convinces them that they're from tech support and they're there to help them. And then they con them into revealing their 24 or 12 word recovery phrase. You talk about, it doesn't take if I'm going to brute force attack a wallet that requires millions of years of attempts and calculations, why don't I just spend my day in a dimly lit, poorly ventilated warehouse in front of a cubicle and DMing people that have crypto wallets and trying to scam them, right? I could probably hit a wallet a day using that technique, right? You just DM somebody and go, did you know that your crypto is at risk and you might lose everything unless you click this link? That's an easy scam, right? That one, you've got a really high chance of success. If you're looking to guess somebody's private seed, the best way is to trick them into revealing it, right? We just had biscuits and gravy for dinner. It's a Southern thing. Ooh, Dave, I love biscuits and gravy. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana, but I grew up down in Texas. And I'm familiar with biscuits and gravy and grits. I like grits too, with butter and salt. I remember when we first moved down to Texas, one of the girls from across the hall, in our apartment complex came over and she said, "Is this your blanket? Wait a minute. Is this our blanket or y'all's?" And after she left, we just couldn't get over that. We thought that was hilarious. Did you hear what she said? She said, "Is this our blanket or y'all's?" I grew up in Texas, though. I used y'all. It's much more less formal than the northern version, which is you guys. You guys need anything? When you're referring to a plural, you're addressing a group as plural, and so you have to use the dreaded you guys. I remember down in Texas, some of the girls were like, "Can you believe that Yankee said you guys and there were girls present?" Anyway. Yeah, there is. I tried Lightning Network wallets a while back. Blue Wallet is one of them. I didn't have much luck with Lightning Network. It's a little complicated to use. I'm hoping that it gets better over time. It's basically kind of a way to verify small transactions very quickly without waiting for them to fully confirm on the blockchain. But it's kind of an outer layer on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. So it has its pros and cons. But yeah, if you're looking to use the what was the word we're looking for here? Lightning Network, right? Which shows some promise, right? Back when I was playing around with wallets in 2016, late 2016, Bitcoin transactions were practically instantaneous because there wasn't that much activity on the blockchain. And the fees were really low. I mean, because I remember I mentioned that, people were talking about micro transactions where, you could pay someone less than a penny with Bitcoin and it was cost effective and all that stuff. Well, in 2017, when the market took off, the Bitcoin network became a little more bogged down with all the activity. So now it's not as fast and cheap as it was before to make small Bitcoin transactions. That's where Lightning Network kind of stepped in, kind of a second layer network. But I tried it out. I wasn't really happy with it. I couldn't get it to work right for some reason. It has to do with, you got to have nodes and do all this kind of weird stuff that wasn't intuitive for me. But I'm hoping that maybe it's more intuitive now. Okay. So someone is asking about logging into Ledger Live. Ledger Live is the interface that you use for managing the wallets that you control via your device, right? So if I have created wallets on my device, the crypto is stored out there on the blockchain, but I can store them in my personalized address out there on the blockchain that I have access to. But it's more, people think of it as, oh, it's in my wallet. Well, it is in your wallet, but your wallet is out there on the blockchain. So when we log into Ledger Live, we're just looking at the balances of our wallets that are all out there on their respective blockchains, right? We got the XRP blockchain, the Cosmos blockchain, the Stellar blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain, right? So we've got a lot of different coins that you can manage in Ledger Live. But Ledger Live is more like a window, right? Just think of it like you're in this big house, you're outside this big house, and there's like a pot of gold in the middle of the house, and you can go look at it through different windows, right? And you've got the key to unlock that chest, but when you use your key, it digitally goes in there and unlocks it, and then you can pull it out or whatever. But you never have to go in and touch the treasure chest because that's blockchain, right? You're just looking at it through a window, and that's what Ledger Live is, right? It's just checking the blockchain the wallet that I've created is checking the current state of the blockchain, my particular address. And it's like, oh, okay. So you're looking at this address. What happened here? Oh, okay. So you're looking at this address, and the public key of that wallet is this, right? So out there on the blockchain, let's do this. Let's go Cosmos. If I got this right? I think mint scan, right? So this is another window that we can use. I can paste in that address and just click here, and it will show me the same wallet, right? In a different interface. It's just a window. I'm just looking at a balance on a particular address of the blockchain. Now, when I'm looking at the Explorer, I can't manipulate the crypto using the Explorer, right? The only way I have to have a wallet software to do that, right? So that's where the wallet, is a little different than the Explorer. It has the ability to check the Explorer from in here, right? I can go view on Explorer, and it takes me right to this page for that one transaction of my wallet, right? But I've had a lot of people that say, well, I accidentally sent my crypto to the wrong address. I can see it on the Explorer. How do I get it back? I'm like, no. Just because you see it on the Explorer doesn't mean you can get it back, right? Anyone can go out and look at the Bitcoin blockchain, but they can't take my crypto out of my address. They can't transfer it from my address to their address unless they have the private key, which I have, right? Only the owner of the private key has access. Asking for a scan at code. Yeah, an address can also be represented as a QR code. So if we do a receive here, there's a QR code associated with that address that I could scan with my phone or something else, right? And if you're like trying to make a deposit, say on Coinbase, like if I want to if I want to receive some Bitcoin that I have in my wallet, then I can just go over here and they're going to show me the Bitcoin address, which I can copy into my clipboard and put into my Ledger Live. Or if I'm using a phone-based app, like say Crypto.com, then I can scan that QR code with the camera on my phone. There's nothing unsafe about that because this is public information, right? We're not scanning private keys. We're just scanning public addresses. So this address is public, right? I have no qualms about you seeing my public address. Now, there is a loss of privacy. Some people don't like revealing their public addresses because that means that, somebody can go and see, oh, look, Rex has $800 worth of Cosmo in his wallet, right? They don't like that. They would, that's a loss of privacy on my part, right? And if it were, $1 million worth of Cosmos, then that might motivate some people to figure out where I am, and come try to steal it, right? So a lot of people don't reveal their public keys, right? I do, because it's just confusing if I try to blur everything out while I'm doing my videos. People are like, I'm watching my own video. If I blur it out, I'm like, I don't get it. What is he doing? It's like, I can't see what he's doing. Everything's just one big blur. So I try not to blur out stuff in my videos. I do, like, I'm fine with, like, there being some money on Coinbase. I'm not worried that Coinbase is going to go down and I'm going to lose my $500. Now, I probably maybe wouldn't keep 5 million in there, right? But 500, that's fine, right? If you have cash in your account, you can make a deposit of cash, or you can trade for cash. And then once you have cash in the account, you can find a trading pair that, why don't we buy some, let's buy a little Cardano. Cardano is so cheap, right? I think Dan remembers when I bought Cardano at 3 cents back in 2020. I was trying to find that video, but I can't. Well, it's 30 cents right now. Oh, it's 27, right? So we just go to market. I go to market. I don't like the limit or the stop limit or whatever. And I want to buy some ADA, right? How much do I want to buy? You can do this, right? I can just say 50, right? I just want to buy $50 worth of ADA. Click buy. And then now it's in my account. If we go here to assets and do a quick refresh, you can see that I just purchased some ADA tokens, right? They're in my Coinbase account. Now, I am not going to just leave them sitting there. And this is a small amount, but it's a good example, right? We went into Coinbase. Of course, I had some money in there that was there already, but maybe we just made a deposit from our bank or whatever. And now we just want to move this to our own wallet. So we go over to Ledger Live and we go to our Cardano account, which is down here somewhere. All right, we do a receive. We grab this address. That's a Cardano address, right? And then now I can go back over here to Coinbase and do a send, right? I'm going to send my Cardano from Coinbase to my own wallet. I'll send it all. It's not much. I'll paste in that address, a long address. I don't need a memo. You can add one if you want. All right, there it goes. There is a withdrawal fee. And I need my two-factor, which is almost expired, so I'm going to let it recycle. Okay. And off it goes. It's really easy. It's not that difficult to learn. I think people just get terrified when they're dealing with money. But, you know, that was, for me, back in 2016, when I was playing around with Bitcoin, I was just fascinated by the fact that I could send value across the internet, real money. I mean, yeah, PayPal too. I was fascinated with PayPal when it came out. I was like, oh, wow, internet money. Now you can just put your money in PayPal, and then when you go to buy something online, you don't have to give them your credit card number. PayPal was groundbreaking when it came out. I'll tell you what else fascinated me too. When I first started going online back in the 90s, the mid to late 90s, well, the late 90s, early 2000s, was that I could go out there on the web and I could download a piece of software from a website to my computer, an installer, and then I could run that installer and install software on my own computer. That was amazing, because for several years after I bought my first computer, you went to the store to buy software, right? I remember they had those CompUSAs, and I was just, it was like a candy store, but they had shelves and shelves and shelves of software, games, utilities, you know, work, you know, Word, Excel, productivity, whatever. They just had all this software, and you go in, you buy it in the box, right? And then when I, you know, discovered the internet and was like, wow, I can go online, I can download something onto my computer, run the installer, and have that software take effect on my computer. I was just amazed by that. And so Bitcoin was kind of the same thing. It's like, oh, now I can, I can move value around using my computer, and then I can actually use it to buy stuff if I want. I can go online and sign up for a VPN or whatever, all from the privacy of my own home and without giving them my name or address or anything, right? Bitcoin is Bitcoin. I don't need to give you my credit card and my expiration date so that you can check, all my personal information and make sure that it's not a fraudulent card, right? Bitcoin is Bitcoin. If you have a Bitcoin wallet and I send you Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin, right? And that's why there's no takebacks with Bitcoin. Let's see. Fees to withdraw ADA on Binance is 0.8 ADA. Yeah, every exchange has its own withdrawal fee. Sometimes it's a flat fee. Sometimes sometimes there are no withdrawal fees, right? They get you with trading fees. Exchanges are running a business, right? They're trying to make money. So sometimes they have low withdrawal and high trading fees. Sometimes they have no trading fees and high withdrawal fees, right? Sometimes they don't, sometimes the withdrawal fees are calculated on a percentage. Sometimes they're flat. It just depends on the exchange. But I think I get comments on my videos and someone was like, you just paid a 10% fee when you transferred that. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But if it was on FTX and I left it there, then I would have lost 100% of my crypto by not keeping it in my own wallet. So 10%, I can handle 10%. I'd rather pay 10% to store it in my own wallet than watch it disappear forever because FTX went down and I had $100 worth of Bitcoin on there. Now it's gone. Never going to get it back. Elron Gold, I don't usually do coin evaluations. I don't know that it's a bad project. Most of the altcoins out there are way off their highs. So a lot of times, if you had bought an altcoin when the market was high back in 2020, 2021 or whatever, and so let's say you bought $5,000 worth of a coin and now it's only worth $50. Your mindset could be, well, I'll just hang on to it until the market recovers. But there's more to it than just that. If a coin is 90% off its highs, that means that whoever the team was that was working on that coin, developing that coin, promoting that coin, advertising and trying to get people to adopt their coin, all those people that were, getting paid in that coin are now stuck out, right? So a lot of times when a cryptocurrency project loses that much of its market cap, then there's no money left to pay the developers and the project dies. So, if a coin fluctuates up and down over the course of a few days, that's one thing. But we've been in a down market all year long. And so there are a lot of projects out there that just couldn't afford to pay anybody anymore. Or if they were working for free, they just weren't interested anymore because the project was dying. So you have to take that into account too. And that's why I don't pump coins, because I would hate to be the one that someone would come to and go, yeah, Rex, you told me to buy Elron Gold and now I lost my mortgage. I mortgaged my house to buy Elron Gold because you told me it was the next best thing, the next great thing. And now, I'm broke and I just got, kicked out of my house. I'm not going to, I'm not going to be put in that position, right? That's why I don't I do videos on particular coins like, well, how do you manage this coin? Like, how do you manage PancakeSwap? How do you manage BNB? How do you manage Cosmos? How do you manage Bitcoin? How do you manage Ethereum? I do that, but I'm not telling anybody to run out and buy it. I'm just saying, if you have it, here's how you can manipulate it. Here's how you store it. Here's how you transfer it. That's what I focus on. Wrong address and coins lost in Binance. I have never had a problem with Binance giving me a wrong address. I'm not sure what you heard. If that means that they tried to make a deposit in Binance and then the deposit address was bad, or they were trying to make a withdrawal of their coins to their own wallet and that was a bad address. Well, if you're the one making the withdrawal to your own wallet, then that's on you. It's not Binance's fault that you put in the wrong address, right? You gave them the wrong address and they sent it to that address because you asked them to. So that's not Binance's fault. All right. I used to be in computer science, and there was one of our teachers said that there's like this axiom statement by some computer science guy that says the computer will do exactly what you tell it to do, although it may not have been what you had in mind, right? That's the conundrum of using a computer, right? It'll do exactly what you tell it to do, but the results may not be what you were expecting. Same with crypto, right? Generally, when people use wrong addresses, they're using the wrong chain. Like they go to make a withdrawal of coins from their, they go onto the exchange and they say, okay, I'm going to withdraw my BNB to my own wallet. And then, so I have a Binance. Well, I think BNB is like kind of a bad example, but let me just give it to you here. Yeah. So if I grab, this is a Binance Smart Chain address, right, which looks like an Ethereum address. But if I try to use my Binance Smart Chain address, it'll go, not the right kind of address. It won't even let you do it at all, right? So you're safe there. But let's suppose that you use Binance Smart Chain address and you're trying to send it to an Ethereum wallet. And then you make your withdrawal and it doesn't show up in your Ethereum wallet. Well, it's not supposed to show up in your Ethereum wallet because you're using the Binance Smart Chain network. And the reason that people do this is because they're playing around with it and it's cheaper. Tether is a really good example. I want to make a withdrawal of Tether. And on ERC20 network, it's going to cost me like $5. Oh my God, that's expensive. Why don't I try this other chain, right? AVX chain, because it's cheaper, right? They're only going to charge me 7 cents, but they don't even know what the AVX chain is. They don't realize that they have to have a wallet that supports the AVX chain. All right. So this is the main reason that people are losing crypto. One of the main reasons when it comes to withdrawing from exchanges, because it's not spelled out clearly on the exchange that, hey, you better know what you're doing. I mean, they have warnings on there, but not enough to scare people. And people don't read warnings, right? Most people don't read warning labels. Let me see if I can. Okay, so they're not going to even let me withdraw that. So I can't get to the next screen. But the next screen probably says something along the lines of make sure you're using a Binance Smart Chain wallet or an Avalanche wallet or whatever. But people just like, and so then they check their Ethereum wallet and they're like, I sent this coin, never showed up. I also get a lot of emails from people. They make a transfer and they send me an email and they go, I just transferred Bitcoin from Binance to my wallet in Ledger and it never showed up. And I'm like, okay. And then I go, how long has it been? And they're like, 5 minutes. I'm like, well, it might take longer than 5 minutes for it to show up in your wallet. Right? But I get these people, they just panic if they don't see it right away. Gloria, I have 3 transactions. How do I do that? It happens when a user has several distant coins. I move my XRP from Uphold to Ledger Nano successfully. Well, that's good. Oh, Patty, you were here several weeks back, and I did that. I explained how to do it. I don't think you were in the live stream, but you may have watched it after the fact. But I find Uphold to be a little bit confusing the way that the interface comes up. But I just want to put it in my secure wallet. Okay, Gloria, you have 3 transactions. How do I do that? Okay, how can I tell? I'm going to scroll back here. Yes, Dan. Okay, yes, not sure what I just did. I was trying to put it in my wallet, put it in my ledger. Okay, maybe so. I'm new at this and nervous, yeah. Another thing to remember, Gloria, is to always do a small test first. So if you're really nervous, you'll make sure that that test goes through before you move like large amounts. Here we go. Asking for scan code. Yes. I was, but what's manager? Okay. Like Uphold. Okay. Use manager. Going back in time here. Plugged it back in and only put in only 4 of the same numbers. Never put dollars from Uphold in it. I unplugged my extension to my MacBook Air for my ledger. I have messed up my ledger. You generally are not going to mess up your ledger by unplugging it. There is a certain point during a transaction where you actually authorize it. So if you're in the middle of like entering an address or whatever and you accidentally unplug it or something weird, it would be very unlikely that you're going to do that at the point of transfer that would screw things up. And honestly, just unplugging it in the middle of doing something would just like the exchange, if it happened, the exchange would be like, where's that address you told me you were going to give me? Right? They wouldn't move anything until you actually pasted the address in. And let's say you pasted the address in and initiated the withdrawal and then accidentally unplugged it. That's not going to affect it either. It will show up in your wallet whether you have the device plugged in or not. If you've gotten to that step of generating the address, you can safely unplug your device. It'll show up. Let's see. We got that Cardano that we just transferred, right? There it is. Let's do a little Bitcoin. And I'll just kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about here. Are you... QR code. You're talking about the QR code again. Are you on your phone trying to do this? Because if you, let's say you are trying to make a deposit of Bitcoin into the Ledger wallet, you click receive. You can do your hardware check if you want to, but once you get to this point, this is the link that says show QR code. When you click that, then you can scan it with your phone if that's what you're doing. Right? So, for example, if I'm in my Coinbase account and I would like to, first I need to buy some. Oh, don't tell me this. Just let me buy it. Okay. God, this is so complicated. Why do they make it so hard? Okay. Buy. I want to buy some Bitcoin. And I had 400 something bucks in there, right? So let's just say that I want to 0.005. That's 84. Let's do 0.003. That's more like 50 bucks worth of Bitcoin, right? I'm going to buy it. Okay. The fee is 30 cents. So I just spent some money there. Now I'm going to go back over here to my assets. I'm going to scroll down just a tad to refresh. and there's the Bitcoin, right? So now we want to send it to my Ledger wallet. So I can, if I go to home and just do send, then the Bitcoin is at the top because that's an asset that is actually I'm holding, right? All the ones below are empty or almost empty, right? So we'll say, okay, I want to send my Bitcoin, and where? Okay, now see that QR code there at the top right? Right, it says phone, email, or address, and then over to the right it has that QR code icon. If I tap that, then my phone opens up my camera, and then I scan the Bitcoin address from Ledger, and there it is. I don't need to add this to my friends' contacts. Now it says how much Bitcoin do you want to send. I'll send the max. There's going to be a fee, 33 cents. All right, and then I'm going to need that QR code from my Google Authenticator. I'm going to let this one expire. I'll tap that code, slide back over here, do a paste, and off it goes. So I'm not sure if you were using Coinbase, Gloria, or you were using Binance US or Uphold, but the procedure is very similar, right? You go into your phone app, get your asset, line up your transfer, and you can use the QR code if you want. But you saw me earlier doing Cardano where I was just cutting and pasting between the different windows because I find that easier. I'm more computer centric. All right, now this is done. And then in a few minutes, I should get that Bitcoin in this wallet. No, I don't think you'll need to buy another one. No. They're pretty rugged. I mean, you don't want to stomp on it, but I mean, I've dropped it, thrown it, carried it around in my pocket for a long time. They're pretty durable. Yeah, that Bitcoin just came in. But yeah, and a lot of people ask me, well, can I eject my Trezor or my Ledger from my, how do I eject it from my computer? You don't have to go through that process. You just unplug it, right? You can just yank it out. Oh, I meant to show that I could easily have just disconnected this device and the Bitcoin would still come in, right? Once you've initiated the transfer, the device does not need to remain connected. Right. So we were going to talk a little bit about Trezor. So I'll go ahead and launch Trezor Suite. I have a Trezor T here that's connected. I've already entered my PIN. Now, when I log in, it says, do you wish to access your standard wallet or a hidden wallet? So I'll just choose the standard wallet. There's no password on here. It's not really at risk because the only person that can connect the device to the Trezor Suite is me, and I have to know the PIN to do that. So, and we talked last week or yesterday about, can I share a Trezor with my roommate? And you can, because each of you can create a password protected account. So if you look at this account, you can see that there's some Litecoin, there's no Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some XRP. I thought there was some something else in here. Oh, sorry. Whoops. I thought I had some, some chills, right? I got some chills in there. And that's all I have to do is connect it and enter the PIN. But if you're sharing with your roommate, you might both know the PIN. So that in that case, then you would want to create hidden wallets so that when I connect the device and enter the PIN, I can't get to the wallet unless I know the passphrase, right? It's kind of like a password. And my roommate would not know this. Only I would know this, right? I have to touch my device twice. And now it takes me to another configuration that is behind the passphrase, right? It's like a 25th word. And lo and behold, there's some Bitcoin in this particular wallet, right? But not only do I need to know the PIN of the device, I also have to know the hidden passphrase for this hidden wallet to access it. So when I'm done playing around with this wallet, I can disconnect the device and give this to my roommate, and then he can connect it and use his hidden passphrase to manage his hidden crypto, right? And in that scenario, we most likely wouldn't have a standard wallet, right? Because we don't want to expose the standard wallet. All right. Easy to switch back and forth. I think you can switch to the hidden wallet. Now that I've entered the passphrase, I can switch back and forth as long as I haven't disconnected the device. So, but I don't recommend passphrases. Too easy to lose access to your crypto if you forget the passphrase. I'm 60. Well, I'm 59, but people my age have trouble typing passwords in on a keyboard. And so they're prone to make typos. So very frustrating trying to type in a passphrase to access your wallet. And then you type it in a couple of times and you've typoed a couple of times and you don't see your crypto and you think it's gone. And then you freak out and you start doing weird stuff like trying to restore the device and jumping through all kinds of hoops, when really the problem was that you were just making a typo as you entered in your passphrase. So you just have to be cognizant, mindful when you're typing in passphrases. Be careful when you're creating them. Make sure if you don't write it down, then make sure you don't forget it. Because if you don't have it, if you can't successfully enter it, then you can no longer access the crypto that's in this wallet. It's just pure and simple. And you can't call Trezor. Trezor can't get it either. It's all on you. XDC. XDC is still not supported by the ledger. I don't know why I get this question like every other week. Someone asks me about XDC. It is not supported in Ledger Live or in a third-party wallet by Ledger, unless someone knows something I don't. Oops, this is not it. Okay, let's see if I can do this. No. Okay. Oh, that's it. They changed their website, so that's another thing that makes it hard. Okay, here. Come on, where's your friggin' wallet, guys? I thought you had a wallet. Oh, all right. There's another problem with crypto is they're always updating their websites and everything else. CoinGecko. Okay. Let's do this. XDC. Okay, and then here's the wallet. Is this it? No. I guess there is a phone-based wallet, but that is not compatible with the Ledger. Are we going back to this? Aha, here's one. All right, so here we are. Create a new wallet, gives you a chain or gives you a seed phrase, right? There is no way. Okay. There's no way to create a wallet using your Ledger, right? But you might say, okay, well, maybe I already have a wallet and I wish to use hardware. Look here, coming soon Ledger wallet support, which means not supported. I don't mean to sound trite, but I've answered this question like so many times. You cannot store XTC using a Ledger yet. Boy, when this thing finally supports a Ledger, I'm going to jump for joy. But like I said, the market's down right now. They probably can't pay their developers, right? Nobody wants to work because they're so depressed that their token is worthless now. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you cannot store XTC in a ledger, unfortunately. Yes, Pood and Cereal. I was planning on going to Indiana today, and I wasn't going to be here for the Saturday night, but I was going to postpone until tomorrow. But then, and I even scheduled it for tomorrow. And then this morning, I walked out and looked at my car and decided that I'm not really up for a 2.5-hour drive down to Indiana in this weather, right? So we postponed the family get-together. So I'm here, right? But I had posted in the live stream community tab that I would be delaying it till tomorrow. And then I even, like, when I first posted the live stream, I said it was scheduled for tomorrow. But I'm here. I have my XRP in my Ledger Nano. You can use a Ledger Nano device to manage XRP, but it is not in your Nano. The private keys are in your Nano. I know it's a subtle distinction. Whoops. All right, so I do have an XRP account. And the balance in this particular wallet is, 2471 XRP. But this wallet, this XRP is not on my computer. It's not on my device. It's on the XRP blockchain, right? So if we go to receive here, we can copy this into our clipboard. We can go to the XRP Explorer. Just trying to give you, all right, I'll paste in that address. And there it is on the XRP Explorer, right? There's my balance, right? Anyone can look at this, but I'm the only one that has the private key to this address on my Ledger device. So in effect, since I am the only one that can access this XRP, you could say that it's in my device, but not really. The device is just a keychain that unlocks a blockchain address, right? So that I can move this back and forth. HBAR to a Ledger is not as difficult as it used to be. Really, all you have to do is go to add account. I'm going to go ahead and connect my Ledger again because I yanked it out earlier. The Ledger is just fine. Going to enter my PIN here. You can hear everyone in my family is coughing. And my eyeballs ache. All right, so all we have to do is go to add account and say, what are we doing here? HBAR. All right, there it is. We hit HBAR, we hit continue. All right, it wants me to open the Hedera app. Now, if I tried to do this without the Hedera app on my device, it would install it for me, right? I've already installed it. So all it wants me to do is open it. So I'll click both buttons. And there we go.
What are they doing?
All right, notice there's already a Hedera wallet in there. Yeah, it looks like you can only create one. That's kind of weird. Huh. I did this before. So, yeah, Hedera has always been kind of weird. Let me get rid of the account. See what happens. wherever it went. Okay. Maybe we'll lose this. I don't know. I doubt it. It's possible. Some of these weird chains. Happened to me with, I forget the name of that crypto. It was on the Tangle, whatever it was. Anyway, I digress. But it's like not only did you have to connect your device, but you had to remember this little seed number. And I lost it. I forget what it was. Okay, well, there it is, right? See, it's just showing me the account already exists, right? We'll just hit add account. And it's weird how the address works. You just hit receive. Let's just assume this was an empty account. Right, there's my address. It's like this decimal number, right? And then I would go over here to trade. All right, we'll do H bar. Okay, H bar for Tether. I have Tether. We'll do. We'll hit market and we'll buy H bar. We'll buy 50 H bar. There it is. It's got some fluff on there. Now we'll go back over to our wallet. We'll get that address, which actually we had already done that. We go back to trading account. There's that H bar. I need to transfer it to my main account so that I can withdraw it. Ugh. All right, we do withdraw. We enter that crazy decimal address. We select H bar. There. 12 cents. I don't need a memo because my wallet doesn't support a memo, right? So I can safely skip the memo. We'll just send it all. It's only $50. All right. I really don't need this device attached anymore. Right? I've already initiated the withdrawal. I don't need the memo. I've got some things I need to do. My trading code, my email. They're going to send me a code in my email. All right, there it is. There's my withdrawal code. And I'll paste that in here. And then it needs my two-factor authentication. All right, there's KuCoin. Whoops. I'm just going to let it cycle. Okay, 836316. Okay. Off it goes. So creating the account in Ledger Live was not difficult. I don't know about additional features in HBAR, like staking and that kind of stuff. As far as I know, the Ledger Live will just allow you to store it, right? I don't see any staking buttons or earn buttons or anything like that. So if you want to stake it, I think there might be a way to do it. I'm not that familiar with HBAR, but you would have to use a different wallet to do that. And I don't know that there's any other wallets for HBAR that are third party that will allow you to interface with your Ledger device. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know for sure. But it is pretty straightforward to drop it into a Ledger-based wallet in Ledger Live, right? That's what everybody wants. I want to see it in Ledger Live. Hashpack. Yeah, the address is weird. Yeah, there's something called yeah, that's the thing. I haven't heard, don't know what it is, how it is, what it does. Hashpack. All right. H bar. Yeah, every coin claims to be the latest, greatest thing that's going to revolutionize the industry from this day forward. So yeah, Hedra.com, their media site. Maybe they can talk a little bit about how you use Hashpack. They probably have their own wallets for doing that, right? Like, I don't know, here, wallets. So let's see. Oh, okay. There's a Hashpack wallet, mobile desktop browser built for connecting your Hedra D apps and the DeFi Hashpack. Well, we might be able to download Hashpack and connect it to the ledger, right? Okay. Install on Chrome. I don't know if I've done this or not. Let me see if I have it. No. Well, not in Brave, that's for sure. Let's go over here. Oh, there. I did download it at one point. And I think what happened was it's not going to let me do this. I don't know if I'm not going to like reset my password. I don't know. I don't know if I ever was able to connect this to my... Yeah, this is going to be kind of a hassle because I don't have this. Let me check to see if it's in this. Oh, okay. So I do have my password stored in my password manager. Okay. All right, some notes. Oh, so yeah, apparently I was able to connect it to my ledger. So I think that would be up here. Add wallet, import existing wallet, and then use the ledger. So yeah, you can, right? And so as you can see, if you look at this wallet, it's showing me the exact same balance that we have over here. Yeah, we just got this from KuCoin that we just bought on KuCoin. So we have this wallet here, which is pretty much just very simplistic. And then over in Hashpack, you can connect your ledger device. You have to be in the Hashpack app when you connect it. And then you can do stuff like staking NFTs and that kind of stuff. Sure. Luckily, I figured that one out. You know, sometimes I'll do stuff and then I'll forget that I did it. And I'm like, But I'm very meticulous of like whenever I have a seed phrase or a password or something, I'll store it in, I have one password, which I use for most of my logins and stuff. Right. So, and I just happen to have stored that password in my one password. So I had the password. And then for seed phrases, I have other ways of doing them where I don't care if I'm just playing around. I'll always back up the seed phrase somewhere. If I stumble upon a wallet that I don't remember, I'll just go over to my resources and scroll through. And I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay. I never just like, I'll make up a password and, it's a simple password. I won't forget it. Don't ever do that. Back up your passwords somewhere in your seed phrases. I'm using the Ledger Nano X. So I was able to connect to Hashpack. I have not tried to use the Ledger Nano S regular. Maybe it's not compatible. Maybe they only, they figure why waste development on a Ledger Nano S platform that's, going to be mothballed at some point, right? A lot of people ask me about the Ledger Nano S. Is it still good? Will it still work? And it will for most cryptocurrencies. But there are a few cryptos out there that only support certain models. It's weird. Like Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. You'll support just about anything. But like HBAR, apparently they don't support the Ledger Nano S. Why, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this Hedera hash pack is probably very similar to MetaMask, right? It's a third-party wallet browser extension that you can create standalone wallets, or you can import private keys from your device if you've installed the app. Whenever you install an app on your device in Ledger Manager, you've just created a private key. So whenever you go over here to Ledger, My Ledger, got to allow Ledger Manager. I got to click both buttons to allow Ledger Manager. You might have done this ahead of time, right? You're like, oh, okay, I want to store Hedera Hashgraph, so I'm going to go install it. Oh, they have an Avalanche? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm going to see if I can find one here that I don't have. Oh, I guess we were talking about Elrond earlier. Oh, IOTA. That was the one I was telling you about. I lost it because the IOTA wallet was also looking for a number code that I had forgotten. It was like choose a code between 1 and 10 or something. And I thought, I just chose 1 or 2 or 3 or 7, and I tried them all and couldn't get access to my wallet. But once you install an app on your Ledger device, you have just created a private key for that wallet, right? Now you have a private key. And was that a random private key? In a way, yes. It was based on your random master private key. We talked about this earlier, right? Your device gets initialized. There's a random master private key stored on this device that is used to create new sub-wallets, right? And if the device gets destroyed, lost, or stolen, then you get a new device and restore with your 24-word recovery phrase, which will put the new which will make the new device a mirror image of your previous device. And now when you generate wallets, it would generate the exact same wallet. I don't know if they support IOTA. I don't think this is the wallet that I had the IOTA. Yeah, see, they've got it like Binance. That's not the native IOTA there. I don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah, IOTA has its own wallet. Yes, the Nano X and the Nano S Plus are very similar. They both have about the same amount of app storage, and they both have the same size screen. It's just that the Ledger Nano S Plus does not have Bluetooth, and it can't run on its own battery power. It has to be connected to a computer. Or I guess a phone if you have a cable connection. I don't know if it'll charge from your phone or not. But the Ledger Nano X does everything the Ledger Nano S does, plus it has Bluetooth so that you can use the Ledger Live app with your phone, and it has battery power so it doesn't have to be plugged in to use, right? It just has to be charged up. And you can take it around with you and, send and receive crypto using your phone app, and the private key of the device will, you can use it. To store Rune on Nano S, I have to use the experimental feature. Not so with the S and X. Interesting. I think you can see that I am in experimental mode myself. It's just a toggle button, like developer mode. Like there, pardon me, certain cryptos. I seem to remember Harmony one required that it only worked on the S, and you had to have experimental mode activated. Just depends on the crypto and the developers, right? Ledger does not make all of the apps for all of the different cryptos. The developer team of the crypto in question are the ones that actually use Ledger APIs to create the app, right? So the guys over at Ledger aren't working on a new version of the Ethereum app, right? The Ethereum developers work on the Ethereum app for Ledger, and when they come out with a new version, they submit it to Ledger, and then Ledger updates it in Ledger Live so that you can get it on your device. Same with Cardano, same with Polygon. I had a Nano S and recently bought the Plus a week ago. Buy it and transfer the coins. Gloria, the batteries don't last forever. Yeah, I mean, the Ledger Nano X, it can charge, but it's just like any gadget. I mean, the early iPhones, like, would lose battery capacity over time the more you charged it and recharged it. I think that every gadget kind of suffers from that. So my thing wasn't battery power because I used mine at home almost exclusively. My thing was that over about 3.5 years, maybe 4 years, the screen started to dim. I could still read it, but it wasn't as bright as it was before. And so I bought a new device and just migrated over. You don't have to feel like all your crypto's on that device and it's like it's all or nothing thing. You can always get a new device and migrate all your wallets over to the new device. No problem. Yeah, like you can see here the capacity of my Ledger Nano X up here at the top. These are all the apps that I have installed on here. And notice that I've got some free space over here. But the Ledger Nano S was like less than 1. It was like around 0.5. It's like a really small space to store your apps in. But you can shuffle them on and off. Once you've created a wallet, you can always recreate it by re-adding the app. The master private key never forgets wallets that it created. It doesn't have to remember. It just has an algorithm that says make a Bitcoin wallet. Okay, here's how I make a Bitcoin wallet. I use the master private key. I stick it in this equation and blah blah blah. Spits out a Bitcoin private key. Well, that will happen exactly the same every time you install the app on the device. So if I can delete the Bitcoin app from my device and then to make room for something else, and then I can go back and reinstall the Bitcoin app again, and all the wallets that I created, I can re-access those. Okay, guys, I struggled along. I'm not feeling great today. My voice is a little scratchy. My eyeballs are aching, and I'm ready to call it a night. Thank you, everyone, for being here with me tonight. I know we spent a lot of time just hashing over theory. I didn't move a lot of crypto, but I did manage to get a few questions answered towards the end. So pardon me. I'm trying to hold back the cough. Once again, I'll do this next week too. Next week, I'm not sure. Next week will be Christmas Eve, and my parents will be here, and the kids will be all excited about Christmas. I don't know if I'm going to do the live stream. I'll kind of keep you guys updated next Saturday night on Christmas Eve. My dad might tell me to do it. My dad's got that work ethic, right? But anyway, We do this every Saturday, maybe not next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. I might shift things around and do the live stream on Friday night next week, or maybe Sunday night. We'll figure something out. Or I might just take the weekend off. We'll see. Thanks again for being here. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Easter, happy everything, guys. I appreciate you guys being here and all your support.